So I guess what made you be okay to just come over to someone's house and do a podcast episode?
Well, as I said, I have my locator on, so
Yeah, okay.
I'm like, that provides a layer of safety. I have my dog. She's super scary, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. I'm excited about this next podcast episode. I got to interview a person I just met. She just qualified for the Boston Marathon. It's one of my bucket list goals. And it's just a reminder to me about perseverance, and learned a lot through the episode. Hopefully you'll learn something new as well. I was also reflecting on Muir and what am I really trying to get out of this going forward. And at the moment, I think it's to really continue on the themes that I shared about at the E40 conference. Number one is about finding our life's calling. Number two is navigating grief with perseverance and resilience. This could also be obstacles or challenges, difficult people, you name it. And then number three is to be content and to have humility throughout everything, which is easier said than done, especially for me. So enjoy the episode. Thanks again for watching. And don't forget to leave a comment if you have anything to share. Thank you. Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Muir podcast. My name is Erwin Adelon, and I'm thrilled to have a special guest with me today. She recently qualified for the Boston Marathon, and we connected through meetup.com. Alexa Lee, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So first off, huge congratulations on qualifying.
Thank you.
It's an amazing achievement. For those that don't know, qualifying for Boston Marathon for females, she had to run a marathon in 3 hours and 30 minutes. My PR is 3 hours and 42 minutes, so I have a lot of catching up to do to run as fast as Alexa. And so I guess just to start, like, what made you get into running and what inspired you to do this?
Let me see. I've always been active. Like as a kid, I played tennis. I did a little bit of martial arts. I played lacrosse, and I loved running, like in itself. And so I've run since I was a kid. I did a little bit of cross country in high school, and some in college. And so, I guess that's kind of how it got started. But I had to take a long break after college, or like during college, because I had a pretty bad like injury history.
Oh, right.
And I was under eating. I got diagnosed with osteoporosis, and so, yeah, it was pretty serious. I was pretty underweight, and so I had to like take a break from running, gain weight, gain muscle, rebuild my bones. And I came back like literally a year and a half ago. So
Whoa.
yeah. So a year and a half ago, I started running again, and then in September of last year, I did my first half marathon. Absolutely loved it. Did 2 more in October and then November. Signed me for a full Surf City in February, and then did another one in March, and then qualified for Boston at OC Marathon. So yeah, it's kind of like a whirlwind, but I caught the running bug. So yeah, the race.
So yeah, literally your first race was last year.
Yeah, my first like longer race, because I had done some like 5Ks,
Sure,
8Ks, 10Ks, but like my first like real long race was last September, the Philly distance run. So yeah, I know, lots of smart training involved.
I don't know. I'm not really encouraged, because I've been doing this for a long time, and for men it's like 3 hours and 5 minutes. So
yeah,
that's just impossible unless I do nothing but run. So okay, well. Okay, there's a lot to unpack with this. Okay, so I guess can you just share about this last race, and then you shared with me earlier you had some challenges. What were those?
Yeah, so obviously I was super fatigued coming out of my first two marathons, right? Surf City in February, and then the SoCal River Marathon in March. But I really wanted to qualify for Boston. Like, it was my goal to qualify at Surf City, and I missed it by 3 minutes. I ran 3:33. And so, yeah, I mean, I was just super determined. At SoCal River, I ran 3:39, but the weather conditions were awful. It was like a 20-mile-per-hour headwind for like 2/3 of the race. Like,
Terrible.
yeah, downpour. Like, it was just awful.
Next.
But so I was like, I'm signing up for OC, and like, this is gonna be it. So I was training. I was super fatigued though. I had gained some weight because, you know, all the stress on your body, it's killer. I got sick like 3 weeks before the race. My hip started hurting, and so I deferred the week before the race. But then a few days before, I was feeling better, and I was like, I really want to do this race. I've put in all the training, you know? And so I call up the race director, and I'm like, please let me in. I deferred like a few days ago. And he's like, okay, we'll put you back in. And
Call the race director.
He did. Yeah. I was
crazy.
Yeah. And so they put me back into the race. Race morning, I was like, oh, I feel really like heavy, tired, and like bloated, but I am ready to go. And so, yeah, I ran the race, and my overall time was 3:27. And it was just kind of like, wow, if I had never tried, I would have never, you know, seen what I could have done at that point. So, yeah.
Well, again, I'm still processing a lot of this.
Yeah, I am too.
That's crazy. And so I get into, so on my YouTube channel, I go into a lot of analysis with my own races and my pacing and everything. Can you share how things were when you started, and I guess throughout the race? Was there any doubt you may not qualify?
Yeah, so I had a plan to try and do even splits, if not negative splits, right? Because that's how all the best times are achieved, right?
Absolutely.
That did not happen.
No.
So I tried to stay with the 3:30 pacing group.
Okay.
But so there were two guys in the pacing group, and one guy shot forward, and I was just like really confused. I was running this with a friend, and the entire time, even with the guy in the back doing the 3:30, we were booking at like 7:20 at mile 2, and I was just like, what is going on?
The 3:30,
It would be an 8-minute mile, and so
huge.
if it was huge, yeah. And I was like looking at my Garmin, and I'm like, is something wrong with my Garmin? Right? Because I'm like, that's a big gap.
I would be pretty frustrated.
I was
because that's their job, is to
Yeah.
keep you on pace and not go too fast.
Yes. And so I was pretty frustrated. I'm like, okay, like, I don't really know what to do. I'm just going to stay with them, like, no matter what, for at least the first 13 miles, right? So I did for the first, like, 8 miles, but then I was like, okay, I'm feeling, like, pretty good right now. And so I broke away, and I started running at, like, 7:40s. And then I think at mile 20, my overall split from like the half to the 20, I think, or 15 to 20 was like 7:20 something.
Oh, that's fast.
Yeah, but then after that,
That's funny. That's when it counts.
Yeah. But then I think for the last 6 miles, you know, it's kind of a slog after like mile 23. I was hitting like 8, and then 8:20, 8:30-ish, like 8:45. And then, yeah, I finished out the race. But
Okay.
it was tough. Like, for the last few miles, you're basically in the sun, and like you're on the road. It's like really hot, just the road like blasting the heat up into your face. But yeah, so that's kind of how the race went.
Crazy.
Yeah, I tried out some new gear too, which wasn't a bad idea. I was like filling a water bottle, and I was like refilling it at the stations. I was like grabbing the cup and then pouring it. So, but it was an interesting race, but
Wow.
yeah.
So tips for auto racing, Alexa Blotter's dog, and Leo's hanging out with
Our lovely dogs.
Yeah. So hopefully, if you guys don't know, I would recommend trying new gear on race day, especially if you're trying to qualify for Boston. or new nutrition. I've had friends miss qualifying for the Kona Ironman because they tried gels that they never had, and then they were in the bathroom. So yeah, just lesson learned.
Yeah.
But you still did it.
Yeah, well, I kept my nutrition the same.
Okay.
I was using UCAN gel.
Mail. Sorry.
So yeah, it's okay. Yeah, they're excited. It's okay. Okay, maybe I'll
Mail. One mail.
Okay.
Yeah, mail. Okay.
All right. Well, this is Pippa, you guys.
Yeah.
She says hi.
How old is Pippa?
She is 8 months old.
8 months old.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's a baby.
So what made you get Pippa?
I guess I just felt like I wanted a dog.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's okay.
Yeah.
No, that's great. Awesome. Crazy. Okay. So you've qualified for Boston, which you'll do next year, right? It'll be next year.
Maybe it's 2026 and we can get into the race. Yeah.
Oh,
I think it's every 2 years.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Mew. Mew, come here. Mew, come here.
Okay, I'm just kidding. Today.
Right. Mew. No, it's okay. Yeah. Okay. So now you've qualified. What's next regarding races?
So I'm doing the Philly Marathon in November. I had signed up for that. I think in March.
Okay.
And it's just something that I wanted to do because I did the Philly half last year.
Okay.
As my third half marathon, but like I'm from Philly, so I want to run a marathon in my home.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I recently just started a coaching program, so now I have an official coach, and we'll see what happens with like real structured smart training, real rest, all of that. So I start that on Monday.
Okay.
Super excited.
So you weren't using any. So I guess what were you doing up until now?
So I was like using kind of a combination of different plans, and just like putting everything together and being like, well, how do I feel? What do I think I can do? Yeah. So just being a little bit like disorganized, free flowing, but like I still got my miles.
Yeah. Which is how many a week?
So my peak was like 70 miles. Yeah, but I think the average was really around like 60.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that was what I was doing, but
great.
Definitely not the smartest training because I think I was way too fatigued the entire time giving push to my workouts.
Okay.
So I noticed I wasn't like adapting, which is something that's really important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
What would you do for recovery, given that's a lot of miles?
I don't know. I didn't have anything real specific, I think the biggest things for me were proper nutrition.
Yep.
Trying to get enough sleep, hydrating. I never got massages. I'm like so big.
Okay.
Yeah. But I would go on walks sometimes and like spin out my legs, like really low resistance on like an exercise bike.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
that helps a lot.
Flushing out the lactic.
Yeah, a lot of times after my hard runs, which I don't do that many, I need to do more. I'll either ride easy or I'll go swimming.
Yeah,
swimming's been fantastic with active recovery.
Yeah. It makes you feel fresh. Yeah.
So, else your goal. So yeah, I also noticed you were in the triathlon meetup group.
Yeah.
So I was like, actually, that's who I was looking at, like, who are interesting people in the triathlon meetup group. And so any plans to do a triathlon?
Yeah. So I've done a duathlon before. I did a sprint, but I am a really bad swimmer. Like, I can swim, but I, like, kind of don't move when I swim. So I'm, like, just doggy paddling it.
I understand.
So I would love to take swim lessons and actually get my strokes down and, like, eventually compete. And I'd eventually love to do an Ironman. But at this point in time, like, getting faster in the marathon and even halves and just, like, with running is my, baseline goal. So
no, I've done 4 marathons and 2 full Ironmans, and I think with triathlon training, it's nice because like with the biking and the swimming, it like helps with the recovery.
Right. You balance.
But it's hard to be, I think, really, really good at one. Like if you're getting a running coach.
Yeah.
Mayo. Maybe you let it. Maybe you let it. Yeah.
I'll put it down.
I think. Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
Because they do the thing.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I think I've learned because I was trying to do everything. There was years I had like 20 races on the calendar. Just like whatever I could sign up for, I would do it. I wasn't really well in anything because it's hard to be a really good runner, especially for a marathon, and then do well in that.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, I'm gonna go out. You wanna go outside, Mayo? I'm gonna take you go outside. Okay. Oh, Mayo, I'm so upset. Yeah, come here. Here, wait. Go full G. Okay, I think Mayo's getting tired of us. Okay, a few more questions. So, like I said earlier, I still told a few of my friends I'm going to have you come over, and they're like, really? You don't even know her? And so I was like kind of skeptical. Like, is she even real? She might be a bot, or you never know. I mean, there's some crazy stuff out there. I work in IT, and you'll be surprised what AI can do these days. Wow. And then I had a friend who lost like $20,000 to not to a scam person. Yeah, I don't know what it was. It could have been AI, but anyway. So I guess what made you be okay to just come over to someone's house and do a podcast episode?
Well, as I said, I have my locator on. So I'm like, that provides a layer of safety. I have my dog. She's super scary, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you seemed like a legitimate person. Like, I mean, And I was like, okay, well, I mean, I would rather like come over and do this. And I'm like, I can leave at that point in time. Like, it's fine. Like, it's fine. Like, I can run away. Literally. Yeah. So I guess that's what made me like fine to come over. I was like, thanks. Yeah.
Awesome. No, I'm glad you came. And okay. So I guess any last words of wisdom for a lot of my endurance friends? I got a lot of friends who are signing up for races this year. Again, given you qualifying, I think we have a lot to learn from someone like you. So anything else you want to share?
I guess I know a lot of endurance athletes focus on weight like as a defining feature of like performance and like a predictor almost, but like I have to say for Surf City I was like a good amount lighter than I am now, and I did worse, so like I would say don't focus on that so much. Just focus on like how you're feeling during your workouts. Look at your performance more, because it is possible to be faster at a heavier weight. At least like for me it was, so to not focus on that as like a performance metric as much as like your actual speed, and how you feel, because I think nourishing for your performance is super, super important. That's something that I saw. I think it's way overemphasized in the endurance space. Yeah.
It's like I feel like you're stalking me because I talk with my friends about my weight all the time. And everyone just says, Erwin, you look fine.
Yeah.
Stop talking about weight. But it does get discouraging when, especially for a long endurance race, you don't usually want to carry more than you need. So
yeah, for sure.
I'll keep that in mind for my race next week. It'll be fine because I feel pretty good. Just the weighing scale says otherwise.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about how you feel rather than like what the number says, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah. So that's one thing. I think also another thing, take proper rests and follow a program and make things easier.
It does, especially for the miles you're putting in.
Yeah, definitely. It'll prevent you from getting sick, I think.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
But I think don't be scared to just hold on and like race with your heart, because that's what I did this time. And didn't overthink it, even though my splits were wonky. Like, I went after it, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna try. You know,
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Good to know.
Yeah,
it gets some dark times after mile 20, and those are the hardest times of my racing careers. Marathons after mile 20 are just like you got to go pretty deep. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Great. Anything else?
No, I think that's about it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
So thank you again, Alexa, for joining us. And hopefully you all found this helpful. I'll definitely want to welcome Alexa back in the future with other things she qualifies for. So thanks again. Really appreciate it. Great. Thanks, everyone. I'll